Hello, everyone. It's good to be with you again for our short little time together. I hope you've been having a great week. Um, Considering when you watch this, I just want to let you know we're currently going through experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic. So today's reading and prayer is going to be about coping with change. I just thought that was something that might be beneficial for all of us. So I'm reading from a book called Seeing Good at Work, and it's 52 weekly steps to transform your workplace experience. But even if you're not in the workforce anymore, most of it just applies to life, no matter retired, working, or not. It's by Dr. Joyce Dufala, and I just noticed this. Reverend Dr. Edward Bullion, I think I'm saying that right, who is now our current Centers for Spiritual Living, gosh, what do they call it? Spiritual leader. So interesting, I just noticed that. So anyways, let's go ahead with our reading. Coping with Change begins with a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. People wish to be settled. Only as far as they are unsettled is there any hope for them. And then it continues. Human beings seem to be ambivalent about change. On the one hand, we crave it. Consider how many new car models appear yearly, how quickly popular music and styles change, how many new products endlessly clamor for our attention, and how much we seek different places for our vacations. Reveling in this aspect of change, Ursula K. Le Guin states, "The only thing that makes life possible is permanent, intolerable uncertainty, not knowing what comes next." On the other hand, as Emerson points out, there is a part of us that just wants to stay put. Perhaps it is because when we get comfortable, we don't like to get up, even though we are bored. Or perhaps we cannot imagine things ever being different, although we long for them to be better. Or perhaps there is a part of us that avoids change simply because we fear we will not get it right. Whenever change is afoot, whether we initiate it or it seems to just happen to us, we are dealing with the unknown. We do not know where we are going, how we will respond, what will happen, or how it will all turn out. Change can indeed be unsettling, and coping with change calls upon our courage. In writing about courage, Walter Anderson notes that worry doesn't stop the future from unfolding, it only ruins today. And that courage is acting with fear, not without it. He reminds us that we do not have to be free from all fear before we do the thing that needs doing. He encourages us to make friends with the side of us that avoids change, because we know there is another side to us that is courageous and able to take steps, even tiny ones, toward the changes we crave. Encouragement can also come from reviewing your life path to date. You will probably notice there are times you seem to be on solid ground, yet in fact it was a series of chaotic changes that got you to that point. You may remember changes that looked ominous at the time, but ultimately contained blessings. This reflection brings to light the wisdom in Socrates' advice to remember that no condition is ever permanent. Then you will not be overjoyed in good fortune or too sorrowful in misfortune. And so, something to carry you through the week. Here's an affirmation regarding this. When change occurs, I have all I need to create more good in my life. So I hope you enjoyed that reading and got something out of it. I thought it was a really interesting point to look back at the past and how so many times we just thought something terrible was happening, and in hindsight, we can see that it was for our good, as we know it always is. And I also liked the point that was made about courage is acting with fear, not without it. All right, and with that, let's go into prayer. We are grateful and thankful to come into prayer knowing that no matter what changes may be occurring in our life, we are fully supported through all twists and turns as we navigate these changes. We are always held safe and secure in the eternal changeless, for we are one with it. So we turn within to the wisdom of our inner knower and surrender any idea that we know more than this inner knower. We lay down any thought form that would have us believing that things should be different than they are. We gratefully accept that God, who can see in all directions, through all time and space, knows what is best for us. In gratitude, we choose to accept whatever change needs to take place without needing to understand why or clinging to our attachments of how things used to be or used to look. We offer up fear and its sidekick named worry, and let our inherent divine courage and trust of the divine bubble up from that inner wellspring and be magnified in us right here and now. For we know that nothing is happening to us and everything is happening for us. This being the case, we realize that resisting change is actually a roadblock to our good coming to us. Therefore, we are willing to surrender to our good and to go with the flow. We wholeheartedly refute all lack and limitation thinking that would keep us paralyzed, playing small and stuck in thought forms and situations that no longer serve our highest good. We are willing, even if only a little willing, to step into the unknown, realizing that while we may not know, God does, and good is all that God wants for us. We are willing to accept a greater and more expansive expression of our individualized expression of the divine. In faith, we now step into the river of life, full of courage, trust, peace, and surrender, willing to go with the flow, and knowing that we will be supported and carried to that which is for our highest and best. We gratefully share the benefits of our expanded courage, trust, peace, surrender, and willingness with all, for we are one with them. In great, great gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Oh, thank you so much for being here with me once again. I wish you and trust that you have a fabulous week, and I'll see you about 7 days from now. Take great care. Namaste.